With an 11-inch 2.5K display, 8GB plus 7GB of virtual RAM, and the Helio G99, the T30 Pro tablet packs some great specs at an incredible price, and today we'll take a look at everything it has to offer. Full disclosure, before we get started, the video is sponsored by Doogee, and they've sent me the tablet for free to showcase to you guys, but they've also given me a great discount code so you can get this as cheap as possible. So we'll go straight into the unboxing, and what I like here is that, as you can see, it comes packaged with a case and stand for the tablet, so you don't have to purchase any as an extra. We've also got a stylus with 2 separate nibs, so you can use whichever one you prefer, although this is a passive stylus and not an active one, but they do offer an additional active stylus. Now following that, we've got the USB-C cable, the manual, and then the power plug, and as you can see here, I've got the EU one. They've also sent me their additional keyboard for the T30 Pro, and you just connect the tablet to the keyboard and you're good to go. The keyboard is built in to its own protective case and stand, and it connects the tablet via the pins at the bottom. The keyboard works great and exactly as you'd expect, and then the trackpad also works nice and responsively, and I find this great for going through my emails in the morning or replying to YouTube comments. Now because the keyboard connects via pins, there's no delay that you could get from a Bluetooth keyboard, and you also don't have to worry about charging. The display is an 11-inch IPS display. We got a resolution of 1600 by 2560 and a peak brightness of 350 nits. We've got a nice responsive display with great colors, and it's enjoyable for browsing, games, and media. And we've also got Widevine Level 1 certification, so this means that you get full quality on services like Netflix or Amazon Prime. And then we've got 256GB of UFS 2.2 storage for storing your media, but then there's also a micro SD card slot in the tray for those of you that want to expand the storage, and you can expand up to 2TB. We've got 8GB of physical RAM with an extra 7GB of virtual RAM to help with multitasking, and then we've got a quad speaker system which sounds good, and then something we don't see often these days is a 3.5mm headphone jack, so great to use your headphones for media and much better for gaming. Now of course, the tablet isn't really aimed at the gamers, but for those of you that enjoy some casual gaming on a tablet, then you still can. I've tested it with Asphalt 9 and Call of Duty Mobile, and both were pretty enjoyable to play. The large screen I found really helps with games, and while you won't be able to play all of the latest games in the max detail levels at the max refresh rate, you'll still have an enjoyable experience nonetheless. For those concerned with synthetic benchmarks, I ran it through Geekbench 5 where we get a single core score of 694 and a multi-core score of 1746. When it comes to software, it's not packed full of bloatware, which is always nice to see, and we get about 240GB of usable storage when first booting the device, but of course I've already installed a few apps. It ships with Android 13, and the software overall is nice and it runs exactly as you'd expect from an Android device. We've also got some customization, and of course you're able to change things like wallpapers, including picking it from some live wallpapers. Then you've also got a choice to use a light theme or a dark theme. Now some of the customizations that I really like is in the virtual memory in the settings, so you can go in here and you can choose whether to turn this virtual RAM on or off. And then if you turn it on, you can also specify the amount of storage that you want to use for virtual memory. We've also got something called DuraSpeed in the settings, and this allows you to select certain apps to boost, and it prioritizes the foreground apps over the background apps. We've also got plenty of shortcuts in the notification bar for things like aeroplane mode, nightlight, QR code scanning, and nearby share, and it's quite close to a stock Android, which I really like. Now battery life has been pretty decent as well, and always lasted the day for me thanks to its 8580mAh battery. When it does run out, we've got 18W fast charge using wire, and this will get you to about 50% in an hour, but there's no wireless charging. We've got Bluetooth 5.2 to connect all of your devices, along with dual band Wi-Fi and GPS. And then we've also got an FM radio, which does work very well, but you'll need to plug in speakers or headphones via the 3.5mm headphone jack because it uses that as an antenna. When it comes to the camera, we get a 20MP camera on the rear, along with an 8MP camera on the front for the selfies. And of course, the tablet isn't really aimed at photographers, but when you need to take photos, you get some OK photos from the rear camera, and you also get 2K video recording at 30 frames a second, and it comes out pretty well, but there's no optical stabilization. For the selfie camera, it also comes out okay for an 8-megapixel camera, but I did find it to be very heavy on the magenta, and it's not going to be the sort of selfies that you put on Instagram. The active stylus works well for jotting down notes or messing around with drawing, but it does appear to draw on the screen a couple of millimeters away from where I'm actually pressing down, and if you look, it's probably a couple of mil to the right. And then if I rest my palm on the tablet, then it doesn't work at all, so it's not going to be suitable for any types of artists, and it's more for just jotting notes. Now the passive stylus glides nicely along the display, and we actually get much better accuracy with the passive stylus, so I prefer to use that one, but you still can't rest your palm on the tablet while you're using the stylus. Now overall, I'm happy with the tablet, and probably the most attractive thing here is the price. It's currently £269.99 on Amazon, and they're also giving a £70 off plus 5% using the discount code MPBLHPRZ. Now for this price, it's incredible value, and to summarize, it's great for your day-to-day tablet, browsing the web, going through socials, replying to emails and that sort of thing. It's also good for watching media, whether you're going to be using the 4-speaker system, which does go pretty loud, or you're going to be using 3.5mm or Bluetooth headphones or speakers. For casual gamers, it also works well, and you're going to be able to play all of the latest games, just not at the max detail. And the only people I wouldn't recommend this for is those looking for a drawing tablet, but realistically, for a good drawing tablet, you're probably going to want to spend a little bit more money. Now, of course, if there's anything I've missed or you've got any questions at all, then just ask them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one.